Welcome to another IPT2, and this week it is all about winning. So, I, whenever I hear this term, I can't help but think of Charlie Sheen and when he did that famous interview. But winning for me is always been a big thing, and I'm a competitive person by nature. I want to be the best I can be. And a lot of the time, that means that I will be pushing towards winning whatever it is. Uh, I get very frustrated when I don't win at things, but it has to be something I'm passionate about and I want to win. It's not a case of I just need to win everything. I'm not that type of person. I don't need to win every single board game or computer game. I don't need to win everything at life. But I've realized over the years that if we don't have good concepts of what winning is, what the goal is, then we can really fail at life. We can go into bad places in our head. We can end up setting the wrong goal type for ourselves. So I'm going to take you back a little bit with this one to when I injured my knee. Uh, I was playing football or soccer and I dislocated the knee and it twisted round about 90 degrees and then snapped in half. So, a very horrific injury, as you can imagine. It's not nice seeing your leg out at the side. But for me, I got taken into hospital and they didn't know what was wrong. And well, obviously they knew I'd damaged my leg, but there was so much damage, so much ligaments, tendons, kneecap, bone. Everything was so damaged and inflamed that they couldn't get a good X-ray of the leg. So it took a bit of time for it to come down, and then they could see the damage. The damage was I'd broken two of the bones in my knee and tore the whole knee apart. I was lucky enough that it was still intact, so there was no surgery needed. But then I got a piece of information that changed probably my life. And I was only 15 at the time, or coming up in 15. And I get told I was never going to play sports again. I get told I'd probably never play football again. I get told I'd probably walk funny. I also get told that I had probably about a couple of months to get my leg working. And if I didn't, that was the outcome. So when you hear that kind of thing, that's where there is a mentality switch in yourself that says, I'm not accepting what they've just said, or you take it as gospel and you let what happens happen. Now, fortunately, I'm the winning type of person. I, in my head, straight away said, right, I'm going to do what I can to get back to playing soccer or football. I'm going to do what I can to get back to playing sports. I'm going to do what I can to walk correctly again. And I did. And it took a lot of time, patience. There was times when I just fell because I had no control of my leg. Like people might see it funny, like there's that guy just falling down, but the leg brace I had on was fabric. It wasn't there to stabilize the leg. My leg was just there to stabilize itself, and sometimes I would fall. I was in a lot of pain a lot of the time. I had to force things like going up and down stairs. I would put that little bit of extra weight on my leg instead of using the crutch. I would try to get the muscles to work. I would move my leg as much as I could each day so that I wasn't just wasting away. And because of the efforts then in the gym, because of my own mentality of not just taking this as a loss, I ended up playing football again. And I was never the player I once was. I went on to do some good things. I scored some good goals. And I managed to have the rest of my youth and enjoy football for what I could. I then went back to other sports. I've ran some good times when it comes to marathons and half marathons for somebody my size as well. I've done some incredible things with my body, some incredible uh, weights I've lifted over the years because I just didn't give up at that moment when I got told I wouldn't walk again. And sure, it's not easy to win, and I think it's one of the big things that people forget is it's never going to be easy to have a winning mentality. It's never going to be easy to set yourself goals that you decide are the wins in life. I decided that a win for me would be walking again, would be playing football, and I did it. I didn't decide that some of the other things that happened along the way, some would say they're kind of mini goals. I didn't decide on them. I decided on the outcome, and I decided I would be a winner. I decided very early on in life as well that no matter what I took up, I would be good at it. I would try to always be the best at what I did. And no matter what I've done in life, that's still the same mindset I have had. It's what's taken me to being on stage in Dubai with some of the best speakers in the world in the fitness industry, not in the actual world. It's helped me gain recognition within the fitness industry. It's helped me get to a place where I can help many more people than I ever thought I could. And that is something that was a decision that was made way back when I injured myself. I always wanted to be a good footballer, but I think I was a bit young to come up with that goal as a life goal. And sure, some people might say I'm really competitive, I want to win at everything. But I mean, like, do you actually want to win? What are you willing to do to win? I, as a kid, wanted to be a really good footballer, and I wasn't great to start with. So I would go out and I would train. I didn't have anybody to train me. I just came up with different things that I wanted to do, like for the accuracy of my passing. I would try hit a piece of wood. I wasn't great with my left foot, so I taught myself to use my left foot. Uh, all to try become a better footballer. But I had that kind of mentality, and I saw something recently that that really shows that kind of mentality. And again, if anybody's listening to this that isn't a football fan, this is another football analogy. But you may have heard of David Beckham. David Beckham, if you look back at his football career, was not the best footballer. Some people will say he was really good, but he was really good at a specific thing, and that was taking free kicks. That was hitting crosses or hitting a pass. He could hit the ball with such accuracy and speed that people couldn't get a hold of it in the other team. And because of that, he was known as somebody special. And he was special. He was special in the aspect of that kind of one niche. But now we obviously have the David Beckham we know nowadays, who's retired from football. He's the owner of Miami's football club. at Inter Miami. And he's also got sons who one of them was playing football and just this week has said he's not going to play football anymore. And that's because Brooklyn Beckham wanted to play football, but he didn't have the talent to play football. Well, he's not an untalented person, but just maybe not to make it to the same level as his dad did. But that's because his dad, David Beckham, was out every single day practicing way beyond the time that he should have. That one skill to make sure that he was the winner, he was the best in the world at that. So when I say that I want to be the best in the world at what I do every time I put my mind to something, it's because I know if I can be really good, especially in the fitness industry, then the information, the support, and everything I give to other people is going to be the best it can possibly be. And that's what it's about for me is I once I got myself that winning mentality, I realized that I want everybody else to win too. Why can't we live in a world where there's more winners? When I first started in the personal training industry, it was dog eat dog. There was personal trainers who would talk about you behind your back. There was people who said I was too fat to be a personal trainer, or I didn't have the physique of a personal trainer, or who would want to train with you? And that obviously is quite hurtful. But it was coming from a point of scarcity. These trainers, these people didn't know where they were getting their next clients. They didn't know that there was help and support there from me if they wanted it. Although I probably wouldn't have been able to help them as much back in the day. But that being said, at that first club I worked at, there was 1,200 members and there was 5 PTs. Now there wasn't a great amount of people wanting to do personal training. That's for sure. I had to bring clients in from the outside uh, to make sure that I was hitting my quota. But I was never afraid of not getting clients. Knowing that there was 1,200 people in the gym, that was a lot of people for 5 personal trainers. And to be fair, that's a lot of people that you can try get to do personal training with you and split 5 ways. And even if there wasn't a lot of people that wanted to do personal training, let's just say 100 people out of the 1,200 wanted to do personal training. That's still 20 clients per personal trainer. People forget there's probably an abundance of clients for everybody, but we have to find the right people for us. Sometimes you'll find those personal trainers who will take on anybody and they eventually take on the wrong people for them. And there's also so many people who have been done bad by personal trainers, so they don't want to do personal training again. And that makes the job a little bit harder. Where if we were just truthful, we could have told that person they were maybe not the right fit for us. They should maybe train with another person. But the industry still hasn't got there yet. And it's the same with training providers. When people are looking, and you potentially might be listening to this podcast looking to do your personal training course, there's plenty of providers out there. But just because the provider that's in your face all the time is there and offering and offering and offering doesn't mean that they're the best for you. And that's why I always tell people to do their due diligence. Try speak with the tutor of the course rather than just getting a cheap course. If you want a cheap course, you're probably going to end up running into barriers that is going to stop you being the best that you can be. We try to come from a place of there's enough people out there for everybody. And if it was spread about a little bit better, I think we would see less of these quick courses that you don't really end up understanding enough at the end of it. And that's why we then have this model where personal trainers tend not to last a year. I don't want to see that anymore. But it means that you have to come at it from a winning mentality as well. Sure, you might be confident in your abilities, but you should also be open to learning more, learning new things, taking on the concepts that will help you be better for the clients that you want to train. One of the things I did when I was a younger PT, a younger manager actually, my PTs were all struggling with pre and postnatal. They didn't really know about pre and postnatal concepts or how to train somebody who was pregnant. So I took it upon myself to do the pre and postnatal course, but not just the average UK course. I went and looked for the best one that's out there. And it cost me a good pretty penny. It cost me a lot of money. And I was happy to pay it. It cost me just about the same as it cost me to do my entirety of personal training course. And afterwards, the information I got was invaluable to the PTs I was working with. I could then support them. I could then give them the right information. And then I can now obviously help a lot of people as well. Uh, I've been through that process with clients, taking them through all 9 months of the pregnancy and help them come out the other side, feeling better, feeling that they have accomplished something, that they've won. Again, it's setting targets and goals that make you the winner. If you set just the typical "I want a six pack" goal, it's going to be hard to get. It's not impossible to get, but are you really going to feel like a winner at the end of it? Because it's just a six pack. They're a dime a dozen these days. But what if you wanted to feel really strong in your body and that you could take on the world and you wanted to learn a new skill and instead we did boxing? That's an accomplishment. Now you've learned a new skill because a six pack probably going to come and go. It's very hard to maintain a six pack all year round naturally unless you've got the genetics for it. And let's face it, most of the population doesn't have genetics for six packs all year round. You'll find that people who are naturally very, very lean will have a six pack, but they're also going to find it really, really hard to get big. They're probably not going to be as exceptionally strong as somebody who has extra weight on them. So, swings and roundabouts, pick your win. If you want to be a winner, then certainly the goals that you select are going to be paramount. And I think that's something that we really need to start setting ourselves more when it comes to personal training, when it comes to goals in general, physical, mental, business. We should be setting targets and goals that aren't just achievable, but really help you move on and be the winner that you want to be. And sure, Have some goals that are completely out of this world. Maybe a six pack is one of those goals. Maybe deadlifting the same weight as Eddie Hall is one of those goals. Maybe that's the goal that's out of this world. But you have to remember somewhere along the line, if you are heading towards that goal, you are going to then hit mini goals, things along the way, targets that will make you feel great. Maybe it's just getting two customers into your personal training business. Maybe it's having a full business is the big goal, having 20 plus clients. Cool. Somewhere along the line, you're going to start to really enjoy the process of getting new clients and onboarding them and seeing them thrive. It's going to be a good journey. I really hope that if you're listening to this podcast, you've taken on board some of the key elements of just getting that mentality right for winning, picking your battles, understanding your strengths and your weaknesses, knowing what could put you off track, understanding that there could be things out there that really affect you when you're trying to achieve things, but still making sure to enjoy the journey along the way, no matter how hard it gets. So, in rounding up, if you want to be a winner, try to think about what you're trying to win at, first of all. Don't just try and win at everything. Try to win at the things that are important to you. I would rather be winning at being a great human being, helping and supporting other people than to win the lottery. And that's the truth of the matter. Uh, some people might want to win the lottery, then be a good person. That's up to them. But I just think if you're winning at the right things in life, then other good things will come your way as well. And so far, life has proven that. So, till next time, I hope that you win. I hope that you select really good things to win at. And I would love to hear about those wins, guys. So please drop them into the comments, the questions, the DMs, or get us on social media and tell us those wins because somebody should be celebrating them with you as well. And IPT would love to do that. Till next time, guys, keep winning.